Marty Ware here from youtube.com/Marty's Garden. How you going today? Thanks for coming and checking out another video. Today we're talking about worm farming. Yep, I've got some cool tips for you. A little bit different to what you see normally in YouTube, because most people just show you how to make and build the worm farms, etc. But I'm just going to add some extra tips to help you get more production, and I'm also going to give something away, and you're going to find out right at the end of the video. So hang on guys, it's going to be a good one, I hope. Now it's about 8 AM in the morning, and I'm having more success with my worm farm since I've been doing some training with earthlyworms.com.au. And here comes Tara, my daughter. Say hello.
Hello, this is Marty Ware in the worm farm.
Yep.
We make all the worm wheat, and then we'll make all the worm and
yep.
put all the letters and parrots.
Will we go and have a look?
Yeah.
Let's have a look what's inside.
And we open it and see all the rocks.
Okay, so it's quite early in the morning, and we've got quite a bit of food in here.
Yeah,
and look at all this worm action going on.
Then they'll get into eat the rocks.
Where you can see these two that are entwined together, they're actually breeding. Well, they were. These two here, you can see they're the same sex and they're breeding, and all the rest up here are eating. And some of the mild colour stuff you can see is just shredded from the juicer, and then some lettuce and some mix and some avocado peels and stuff. So they're doing really great. There's thousands in there. There really are so many benefits to owning your own home worm farm. Whether you decide to buy a kit from the store, or you decide to make your own by maybe watching a video on YouTube, as there's plenty in there that show you directly how to do it and make your own cheaply for under $25. But the benefits are really that you can make your own liquid worm tea and castings that you can use on any garden, as it's non-burning and it doesn't smell. And the best thing is you're recycling that kitchen waste that would normally go in the bin and out to the landfill. So you're doing the environment a great favour at the same time. When owning your own home worm farm, there are some things that you need to consider to get an effective garden that produces lots of worms and lovely compost for you. They don't really like to eat anything acidic such as citrus or dairy, so avoid putting that into the worm farm altogether. Also, it needs to keep wet but not damp, so if it's getting too wet you might need to rip up some more newspaper or throw in some dry leaves or something like that to keep a nice even moisture through the worm farm. You also need to keep it cool. Now in Australia I've been told that it needs to be below 25 degrees, which I'm not sure exactly what that is in the American one. Might be around 75 or something like that. But really the cooler, the better. It will perform much better for you. Now, there are also some other things to consider. A lot of people like to use newspaper on top. Now, newspaper is okay, but there are some mats that you can go out and buy, a special type of woven mats that let in more oxygen and will actually hold the microbes in the worm farm and make it produce that much better. One thing I've found that's really helped this worm farm is this tumbleweed worm mat. Now it's made from a special type of fibre, and the worms seem to really like it, and it's keeping it much cooler, and apparently it lets more oxygen in the newspaper, so I'm getting more success with this, and it's definitely worth the extra $25 that I spent for it. You could probably pick them up cheaper, but this one actually fits the exact size of this type of worm farm, so it's perfect. One thing I discovered when I first started my worm farm was that the chlorine was killing off my worms, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting like worms breeding on. I was getting worms staying there, but I just wasn't getting this build up of worms that I wanted, and now I'm getting heaps and heaps more worms. And one thing that I do is that you can leave your water out for 24 hours outside in a bucket, or you can, if you want it a bit quicker, you can aerate it here in the bucket, yeah, for an hour to 2 hours, and that'll remove all that impuration as well, so all the chlorine will be gone. And what are you doing there? And yeah, that's the best thing to do for it. And then go and water your worms with it, and they'll love it. I've poured through about 20 litres, or maybe 15 to 20 litres of dechlorinated water. Now you can see it's still running through there from the tap, but what I'm about to do is turn this into an even better fertilizer than it already is. It's already a great fertilizer, but what we're going to do is we're going to add some stuff to it to actually make it even more dynamic. I've got my bucket of wormweed tea here. Now a lot of you would have heard of compost tea. Well, most people make it by using compost in a little in a tea bag and then brewing it the same way as I'm going to do, or using worm castings as well in a type of bag and brewing it as into a compost tea. But what I've done here is I've used the wormweed that's come through just from doing the mix with the dechlorinated water. Now I'm going to add a couple of spoonfuls of molasses. This is unsulfured molasses, and what I've got here is my pump. Now this is a two-way pump and cost me about $30, $27 I believe, from the pet shop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to oxygenate this bucket with it. So I've got to stir in the molasses first, 2 teaspoons, really stir it in, and then I'm going to pump away for 2 hours to build up the microbes. See, the microbes will feed on the molasses and it'll build up in there, and then I'm going to go out and water my container garden with it. See how it's all frothing up? That means that the microbes are feeding on that oxygen in there and that they're multiplying at a rapid rate. Now, if you had a larger bucket and a smaller system that wasn't getting aerated so quickly, it could take anything from 12 to 24 hours to do this. But because I've only got a small amount of water and a lot of microbial activity in here, it's only taken a bit over 2.5 hours to really establish itself. Here is my finished product. Yes, the worm tea weed turned into a compost tea. Great stuff. Now you would have seen through the video how I made this. This is going to go out into the container garden, and I'm going to dilute it down with some more water, and I'm going to fertilise my whole container garden with this. And when I find that I use this, I get major blooms and green growth like you wouldn't believe. G'day guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and enjoyed those little tips that I gave to you about worm farming. Now I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I was going to give something away. Well, I've got a book, yes, a guide to worm farming. It's a neat book, and I'm going to give 3 of them away to people that leave the 3 best comments. Now comments can be anything like a question to something that you might want to add value to down below in the comments box. So listen, I'll get in touch with you after you leave the comments, and the competition will run for about 3 days. So yeah, get in there, make your comments and get your free ebook. See you then, bye. Thanks so much for watching my videos and becoming a part of the Marty's Garden series. I really hope you're enjoying all the videos that I've been bringing out to you and learning plenty along the way, and watching as Karen and I develop into, well, what we like to call happy gardeners. But I do have something else for you. Now before you subscribe to this so you can watch more videos and click the like button down below so your buddies and that can see it too, you may want to go off to the Potted Vegetable Garden. Yes, www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. It's my website where I teach you how to grow food at home. Look, there are over 200 pages indexed in here now, and you will need to really search around to find what you're looking for. We've got everything from growing fruit trees, tomatoes, sprouts, worm farming, mini greenhouses, companion planting, growing chilies, and we even teach you how to repel fruit flies and grow sprouts at home, and healthy recipes for kids, and we're adding to this all the time. So come and see us at www.pottedvegetablegarden.com, and we'll see you in there. Happy gardening. Bye.